Do they really draft in order?
They did draft in order. Which makes sense, though, because Nidalee and Kindred are banned, right? And you're going to take Maokai Graves here. If Alistar's first pick. Sword Dart's been great on Alistar. They want to deny it from Wolf. And then when the other side of the draft is Ezreal and Azir, you have a chance here to take the Echo away and deny that top lane pick, but they still get the Poppy. And finally, we see an Elise, which has been a bit of a rarity at this time.
It's worth noting that with this drafting, SKT had no ambiguity on the red side. They already had Maokai as the first pick, and they took Echo. And also their last pick support. Their situational last pick support isn't available. They've actually last picked Tahm Kench before. But... So like they don't get a lot of value out of fifth side red.
Yeah, the Braum also isn't great here either.
What are his other options though? Like
he doesn't really play Bard.
He's played it once or 0 times. I think it's once.
I will tell you.
Load that Inven.
I'm loading that Inven. It's going very slowly. But he's not really a Bard player. He's not like Mad Life or Gorilla.
But man, if they'd taken Bard Lucian against Alistair Ezreal, that's some dickin' right there.
Yeah. And also it's really good because you can set up 2 zones with the Parallel Convergence and the Bard Ultimate. And they have enough of a front line with the Maokai and Graves theoretically already. And the Braum's not bad. It just doesn't block a whole lot besides Ezreal abilities, really.
It's hilarious to me that they've lost to... They lost twice with and twice against a Azir Poppy.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's always a Azir Poppy.
So, they take the Lucian. So theoretically here, they could... It's interesting they take the mid lane Echo. This is... Faker hasn't played a whole lot of mid lane Echo in his career. Apparently... I can't look at Inven right now because it's broke, so...
Rip. I mean, that makes sense. They did lose twice again.
Inven is so filled with rage posting right now that the site went down.
Yep.
Now, according to Andy, the girl who edits your countdown stuff, she was reading some Inven. And, yeah, apparently the Korean fans are just scared that Korea may not be the best region anymore. That's like their big fear right now.
I really wouldn't worry too much about that.
If Korea doesn't make it out of groups, then I think all hell will break loose. I think then they'll start getting the hate that the Tigers did for IEM.
Well, I think the thing is if SKT just makes it out of groups, at least they have another week to practice. So I think they still have a strong showing in the playoffs.
The fun thing is, let's say they finish 5th, right? There's like a huge embarrassment. Which was the flash in the pan? Blank's finals performance, or SKT really getting it together right at the end, or MSI? We won't know the answer.
Yep.
Because there's a reason we didn't predict them to win the final. Like, Rox had shown much more consistency over a season. And the thing people would misunderstand about SKT is that they were followers in terms of the meta the whole season.
Yep.
Rox Tigers innovated the whole season. SKT would look at their trends and eventually... Or KT, you're right, with the Zillion Poppy. They'd look at other teams' trends and then start picking. That's the big thing, is that this is a much different situation. We have a 1 week, 5-day match day. So they don't have... Remember Worlds, right, where they had the ability... Every team had the ability to crib from Cloud9 and go, okay, this is what the meta was, let's work it out. SKT don't have that chance because they're playing every day. And so the meta's not really settled until, say, 4th, 5th day. And because they've been this follower team with this lineup, I guess we shouldn't be too surprised. They just don't seem to know what to do.
Do you think Tigers would have had a better
Yes.
show?
Yes, absolutely.
Easily. I mean,
one of the big problems right now is Blank's underperforming, and Pina is still a monster. And Faker is Kuro's kryptonite, but Kuro performed very well at Worlds last year against...
I would have loved seeing Kuro against Maple. Again.
Yeah, it would have been good. And I just think, their synergy is much better. Smeb is... He doesn't have the weird TP issues that Duke has. I don't even know why they banned Ryze here. So if you're SKT and you're on red side, we know that Faker plays an excellent Cassiopeia into Rise. Why ban Rise? You have a counter pick available that has been very successful.
Excuse me. It's just weird they blind pick everywhere. On the blue side they were blind picking, on the red side they're blind picking. It feels like they think they know what's good and they don't seem to. Not that their drafts have been awful in any game, it's just...
I think they don't know how to use the tools. I mean, that's what we saw yesterday,
Sure.
is that they weren't playing their team composition correctly, and they weren't playing the last team composition correctly in the late game either. They weren't setting up vision denial to
weren't using double
surprise.
TP.
They weren't using double TV. It's just been bad.
They should have just had Ignite on the LeBlanc the way they played.
Agreed.
Not double tier from Flash Wolves this time.
Yep.
Because last time it was Rise Ezreal, this time it's Zero Ezreal.
They did ban the Rise, but again, like, if you're on red side this time, you just play the Cassiopeia. Faker's professionally undefeated still on Cassiopeia. It's one of his better champions right now. I think you just have to play confidently. There is a possibility that they didn't want to play the Cassiopeia because Blank has been underperforming. And
Yeah.
Faker has to apply a lot of mid lane pressure, which leaves him vulnerable.
Well,
This is literally the same thing that
everyone
happened.
wants to put down the
What the
52nd
fuck,
ward.
NL? I mean, look at this play again. Okay, so Faker actually goes mid this time. He's not walking through bottom lane. So they see him walking down, right? And they know exactly where he is. And the same exact thing happens where Braum comes up into the tri-brush. Wow, great Mystic shot, buddy. Hello. Where do you think the support is right now?
He gets surprised by Bang skilling E level 1. Most Lucians wouldn't skill E,
Sure.
but because there was 2 marks of the Braum passive, he did.
So now he's in a pretty bad situation. Again, SKT gets another like free summoner right at level 1. They don't even have to use a summoner to get it this time. So again, they start out with a pretty nice advantage right out of the gates. So it's basically the same story as last game. Actually, Bang is going to get a free deep ward in.
Yeah, because he knows Ezreal has no pressure on the lane. On the side of the jungle, sorry.
So they are going to head down now, and they can disrupt the Krugs. This is so greedy, by the way, of... They shouldn't have shown right there. That's actually bad from SKT. Because right here, what you want to do is you just want to wait in this brush until jungle camps spawn. I mean, all you have to do is wait 3 seconds, and then you wrap around here and you mess them up. Or you just walk into tri-brush and mess them up that way.
Because
So-
you know that Flash Wolves have to do a camp because they're deathly scared of coming into lane with no flash.
And you just put a ward down here, so you know their jungler's not there in theory, right? I guess he could be at Krugs, but that would be a really weird jungle start. Very unusual. And very unlikely. Because if you start on that side, then you deny your duo lane any chance of getting the Krugs whatsoever, which is why typically junglers start on the opposite side of... they start on top side these days. Unless you're lane swapping. But starting on the opposite side from your duo is standard. And they hit level 2 because they got the small Krug.
They also hit level 2 because Lucian had to skill E first. Or chose to skill E first. That should never, ever happen. But
But it was the small Krug too because they get it early, right?
it's also smart that Sword Art actually took Polv level 1.
Because they're even in minions right now, killed. It's actually just the... they both have
But
4
SKT
minions
know
left in
that,
the
and
wave.
they already saw Sword Art Polv the lane, so they know he has access to headbutt
Yep.
Polv, so why are they
It's really
so far out?
sloppy. So the advantage that they have basically melts away, at least temporarily. Actually, that trade was pretty even. But they did lose the summoner, so... In terms of damage, it was even. And again, 3-minute gank here onto Duke on the top side.
It's lane control.
Because this is actually a really weird start from Karsa, because he full cleared his blue side and then goes for a gank.
Yeah.
You definitely don't expect this, especially when you think the jungler is probably going to be wanting to help the bottom side, considering they have no flash. So Karsa, like, a little bit of mind games here, actually.
Melee range E. Good job. No way to miss it.
Actually, I mean, I don't think the melee range Cocoon is good because he gets arcane smashed and then they can't.
Sure, but
they
I
don't
mean, he
force
just didn't
summon.
want to. He just, wanted to hit it right. So I got a lot of damage. Still good. Blank uses that to invade, as he should.
Yep. And he knows, just seeing that the red buff.
Well, they've
is still
had
up.
permanent vision over this. Remember,
Yep.
they had the level 1 ward as well.
But as a result of having that permanent vision, you know that Karsa went for a full clear, so Duke is not playing respectfully at all. So 3 buff, but considering that there wasn't actually a summoner spell used top, SKT getting a little bit more farm onto the jungler as Graves, this is actually not so bad. It's pretty much even.
Doesn't get too greedy for another camp.
You know, he's got a lot of jungle left to go through, too. Bit surprised he doesn't take the crab there before going for the grump, but especially because he has pressure in the bottom side. I think you can take that opportunity.
I mean, he definitely has pressure. They're literally under the enemy turret.
Yeah.
Echo teleports to lane. It is a 0 with TP, interesting.
Yeah, we didn't mention that. So not really worried about the kill pressure from Echo.
Yeah, it's Xiao who I think was the other, that's taking TP sometimes.
So Karsa's just waiting there, but doesn't actually get an opportunity to do anything because SKT are actually playing with a certain amount of respect in that lane. So both TPs used to get back into lane pretty early on for SKT.
Wow, Darkseal Maokai.
Ooh, I didn't notice that.
That's something. He has Corrupting Potion, so that's, again, the synergy between the two items, but it could have just been double Doran's Ring.
I wonder how good that is in the Poppy matchup. I have no idea.
Did he start Doran's Ring?
He started Corrupting Potion. He went back and bought Doran's Darkseal.
Interesting. Feels good now when you're getting the value from the potion, obviously.
Yeah. Finally burned that flash, though. But they have no idea where Karsa is, and he's not actually playing that dangerously, I suppose. And he does get stunned into the wall right at the start there. We don't get to see it on screen.
Has Blank blown a summoner spell in laning phase in the last 2 days? Maybe on day 1, but day 2, day 3, I don't remember him ever blowing a summoner spell.
No, he's not playing very aggressively, that's for sure. He hasn't really been helping his lanes too much.
Oh, he blew a summoner spell, sorry,
When
on
he
the
flashed,
Kindred.
yeah. No, he flashed in with Nidalee too in that one skirmish that they lost.
Yeah. Okay.
But it hasn't been great summoner usage. And he hasn't been trying to trade his flash for a laner's flash, which is what we see most other junglers do.
Now, we see a lot of Elises in Korea go Red Smite into Sightstone. That was what specifically Winged was doing on Jin Air, but it is just going to be Tracker's Knife.
I think, yeah, I don't know about that. I think you just go Tracker's Knife. But while Karsa has put down the pressure and been able to deny a lot,
his pathing's been really interesting.
And this is what you want to do on Elise, but you pretty much just have to accept that you're going to fall behind the Graves in terms of farm. Because, I mean, that's 8 minions, it's 6 minutes in the jungle. Considering that nobody's been in lane, like pushing out lanes, these are all jungle minions, that's actually pretty significant.
I mean, he's going to fall off however many creeps he kills, so he might as well do what Elise does, which is turret dive like a beast. Why is Duke saw this a lot? Okay, that's because there's a pinch coming on.
Yeah, Wolf is here. But they see him. Goodbye. It's a good run by Wolf, though, to help out with the gank in the top side. But they walk through the pink ward and the tri-brush, so they're not actually able to do anything. But Bang does have a freeze in the bottom side. And because Bang is already really strong...
This was also level 5, so it doesn't have anything to push it.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to push it. Has to go back for tier pickaxe. There's a BF sword on the other side. Like, you can leave Bang alone right now, and it's totally fine. So I like the... This is actually pretty solid early from SKT, but Flashwell's also playing their composition well, and I like what Kars is doing. So they know where Elise is right now because they see it on the blue buff, so they just tag the Azir, which... Does that actually cause Elise to take the blue? No, but it delays it quite a bit.
At least SKT's lane positioning has been a lot better today.
Well, that was a really good trade by Faker, actually, because you get the ultimate out and you delay the blue buff transfer. It really messes up Karsa and slows him down even more.
I mean, the big story is, remember yesterday they were like pushing up lanes, they were disrespecting, they were trying to push every lane into turret and getting ganked for it, or the pick comp, like the LeBlanc, just killing Faker. This game they've been so much smarter at controlling their lanes around vision, which is a good adaptation to see. A lot of lane pressure on bot, clear all the wards. So far, so good.
Yep. So, the bot lane's not going quite as well as it could be going at this stage in time, but they're holding their own and they're allowing Blank to get this insanely large advantage in the jungle. Like, Blank actually is doing what he should be doing on Graves right now.
Is that enough damage?
Oh. 1 HP, baby. It does waste a little bit of time, probably misses him a few CS. Why was Duke fading down? What's he doing?
Go for a ward.
Yeah, but he goes further down right now. That's my question.
Just thinking about ganking mid, but...
Would have been an interesting play, actually, and that's one of the advantages that Maokai has, is he's so good at roaming out of the top lane and then ganking the mid lane.
That W. He doesn't have flash, though. That's unfortunate for him. Let's see if Faker ults back to lane. Nope.
He doesn't have to right now. He had all the pressure. So where's this going exactly? That's my question, because... Right now, if we think about the compositions, SKT, both teams are going to have strong late game compositions, but Graves being unharassed and at least not doing anything in the early game means that this Graves is advantage. The Graves is going to be much more useful in the late game. Blank. Okay.
Let's try and draw out the ultimate.
Did they know? Yeah, they know where Elise is because walk by a ward. So.
Well, they just. I mean, they didn't have kill pressure. They just wanted Maple to ult. They didn't. The one issue
more Raptors though taken.
The one issue that SKT will have is that their team is very short range, so Azir can really punish them.
Really bad at sieging too. Well, I mean they have Lucian, so if he builds rapid fire cannon, at least he has the dash.
With double TP though, the double TP is where they have the huge advantage, because when they try to siege 5v5, it's not great, but in a long lane, Echo should be really hard to be matched up on. Now the one advantage is that Poppy can build magic resist with impunity because it's against Maokai and Echo, and effectively double AP. He wants armor for the Graves and Lucian, but this is split push is the big thing. Split push with the Echo especially should be powerful, and then the teleport plays.
So they take another early dragon just like they did in the last game.
As they should with
so they've really like changed. What's so interesting about today and yesterday is that it's exactly the opposite, right? Yep. They didn't have any dragon control yesterday. They tried to play for late game team fighting, and they failed at that. Went 0-2. Today, they're doing a much better job of controlling the early dragons and stacking dragons, but they still lose 0-2.
Yeah, but they botched the early game with the Azir Poppy comps, and then they botched the late game against the Azir Poppy comps.
It was terrible.
I mean, that the only consistency there is the team being bad,
Yep.
which is a pretty big thing to level against SK Telecom.
Right.
So the question is, what is this? Because again, neither of us have seen this game. Have you seen any of this game? I saw none of this game.
No,
So
I saw like maybe 5 minutes of it.
So I don't know where it goes wrong. That's the part that I'm interested in.
And I saw 5 minutes of it on my phone, so I don't.
At a CS:GO
At a
tournament.
CS:GO tournament that I was also watching at the same time, so I haven't really paid attention to it. Let's say that, or no, like I can't really see what's happening.
I was watching Captain America 3. It
How was it?
was good. You can be skeptical about that.
I will.
So Blank decided to face check a lot of damage.
Okay, the Thunderlords ignite.
I mean, the Flash Headbutt Pole Ignite Thunderlords.
Yeah, disgusting amounts of damage.
The I'm actually AP Alistair. Now, he didn't expect this to happen because once again,
Yeah. I mean, you don't expect the team to do that.
have you noticed that Alistair's at less than 50% HP have been godlike this tournament? Marta, Sword Art, they're never done.
So they actually do put down an assist me ping right here as Blank comes into the jungle.
Yeah.
But SK Telecom's not unreasonable in thinking that something can happen because they chunked out the Alistair. There's a ward here. There's a ward here. There's pressure on the mid lane. They can't really TP in, but you see the W go down right now from Duke onto MMD, so he's tying him up so that he can't TP. So
It all looks good.
it all looks good for SKT just on the surface.
Now, if Blank face checks and takes a lot of damage,
Yeah. I think that's the big error right here, is that there is... First off, he... Okay, that's what the problem was. So, he wards, and before
now
he dashes in...
worth noting there's a little bit of logic there in terms of getting the stats,
Yeah, you get the defensive stats.
but the thing is, like, let's say you don't dash there, you're still definitely 100% of the time going to be stunned. Because, like, it's very hard to get face checked on and then reflex, dodge a cocoon. So, I actually don't mind it. It sounds counterintuitive, but they know there could only be one person there. It couldn't be more than one. They have vision of everyone else.
Yeah. I don't agree with using the smoke screen there either.
I mean, you pressed all his buttons, let's be real.
Yeah. Jesus.
I think SKT needs to start banning Alistair, man. Or
Yeah.
playing Alistair.
Well, it was banned against them in the last game. They will play Alistair. We know Wolf's a great Alistair.
Well, they're getting smashed by Alistair.
What the shit is this?
What, you mean the zoom out?
Why would you do this during a
Oh,
moment?
because when the first blood comes down, the whole stage gets a color.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see the color of the stage right now.
Well, here you go.
Oh, thanks.
Just for you.
Great.
Let's check it out. Look at that stage. Blue!
Oh, shit. I didn't want to see the game.
No.
I just wanted to see the LED stage. Damn. Well, I hope we get a replay of this so I can actually see what went on. Replay, please. Oh, wait. Replays don't exist in League of Legends. I forgot, Papa.
Can we see a replay of the stage? What's this shit? Where's the stage?
I wanted to see the blue.
Show it to me.
But we know that replays don't actually exist in LoL, so it was too much to ask, really. I am glad we get this, though. So
Saw that. The added vision there. The Carcer just put that ward down as well.
yeah, that's good.
So then Faker. Oh! He gets fucked.
Wow, that's super. That's super low.
Yeah, the third auto would 100% have killed. That was actually nice. He flashed for the wall stun as well.
Yep.
Is he just teleporting? Oh, just a minute. Never mind. I didn't know if anything was happening, man. I saw teleport. I forgot it was. I also said Azir teleporting out loud, which is never the sign of an engage.
You're right. it's hard to criticize Blank so far this game. Yes, he gave up the first blood, but it was nearly a 1-for-1. And that wasn't really a bad play. That was a logical play to make.
Everything was in place for him to do what he did.
Yeah.
It just didn't go well. Man, Maple is pounding. Here we go, NL again.
Wolf's more on point this time.
It is fun that we're seeing this game again. It feels like almost the best of two because it's over the course of one day.
Who knew that like best of series were more fun to watch? Did you know that, Papa Smoothie?
You know, I had a sneaking suspicion. It's going to be a different world soon.
God bless.
Well, NL has no mana, so that's a problem, but... You forget at least damage.
So let's take a look at the setup here. So it is a prolonged setup. And what do they know? Because we have to ask that question from pretty far back here. So they go ahead and steal the blue buff. Bang is alone on that side of the map. Wolf is warding and gets chunked out. So Flash Wolves make the decision. They know Wolf is going to go back right here. Boop. Okay.
They probably know blue timing because blue just spawns now.
Yes. And I think SKT pings their own blue. So the assumption here, they delay Wolf's recall with that. And the assumption here, because they just took blue, SKT doesn't think they're being dove right now.
No. Because the issue they have is there's a
pink Alistair ult is also still down.
There's a pink ward in the brush. They don't know where they are. They know blue just spawned, so they probably assume it's being warded.
Yep. They probably assume that their blue buff is being taken right now.
Because Elise hasn't been Sin in any vision. He was Sin there, though. Path through the only red ward in the area.
But they think they're going for blue.
Absolutely.
That's what they think is going on right here. Because, again, look at NL. He has absolutely 0 mana.
Yeah.
Looks like the Alistair ult just came back up, but there aren't any summoners on Alistair. And...
Bang is
he should not be
far
there,
down the lane, let's be real.
It was a mistake, but you understand why that mistake was made. And Graves actually, Blank tries to get there as fast as he can, and Bang just tries to get around this ability. And Sword Art's ultimate just came back up a few seconds earlier. Had they not, and look at this, had they not delayed Wolf for about 4 seconds right there, Wolf would have been down there. So it's just that was a really well executed play by Flash Wolves to take advantage of that timing window.
I mean, the level to which Maple followed and DPS down Wolf was impressive because he knew that he could force a recall out, and that was the relevant factor.
Yeah.
Chunk out the support, dive the AD carry. Simple math.
Yeah, that was nicely done by Flash Wolves. They played around their old timers really well. They played around the fact that they delayed Wolf's recall really well. It was just super well set up.
But this has actually been Flash Wolves in both games against SKT. They've been super good at knowing the next step. You remember Sword Art's roam onto Faker on Alistair once again, all around the enemy jungle when they caught him out when he was playing a 0. Same story here.
It's actually funny because Flash Wolves hasn't lost to a Korean team in
4-0 in group stages.
Yeah, the 4-0 at group stages. 2 over the Tigers, 2 over SKT. It's funny.
Where would Flash Wolves finish in Champions?
I think they'd do pretty well.
I think they finished 3rd. And then they're better than KT.
Yeah, maybe.
Oof. Damn.
Oh, come on.
Faker is not good at taking blue buffs on Echo.
I mean, despite those 2 kills, though, it's a very narrow lead so far for Flash Wolves. And the first dragon went over to SKT and it's going to spawn again. So it's not really... I mean...
It's not panic stations.
No, not at all. Interesting that Karsa went Aegis second on Jungle Elise.
It's against pseudo double AP, so...
But the enemy jungler is Graves.
I mean...
It's not pseudo...
the enemy jungle is also blank.
So we're waiting now for the TP of Faker to be back up so that there will be a small timing window where Faker has his TP and Maple does not. He also went for the early distortion enchant to make this play possible, so he needs to do something with it because he spent the money.
That's really nice.
It's very well set up. Yeah. Oh, he lives.
Does he?
For now. He lives a surprisingly long time.
He does. Boom!
It's actually better for SKT because they get shutdown gold. But Blake isn't doing anything wrong.
No.
He's playing super far back. They're pinging the brush with everybody in it. So there was a ward clear right there. They know where Elise is. First off, good warding by Flash Wolves.
They walk through a ward when they enter that brush.
Yeah. So Blank, yeah,
They know
they're
Karsa's
there.
there.
They know Karsa's there. They know Azir is there now. So SKT knows everybody's there.
Well, that's why Faker paths
And look at
around
this.
it.
Duke is already on his way down,
Yep.
too.
And Faker paths around it, expecting it to be there.
Well, he knows Azir is in one of two brushes right
Yep.
now. And because of the pink ward in that brush, he's going to check with his parallel convergence. So now they know exactly where they are.
Yep.
And Blank uses his sweeper to deny the vision from the ward. And he gets cocooned.
Yep.
So he goes in. Blank is going to actually flash and then ult. You can see the ult
Yep.
right here coming through. Doesn't actually hit anybody, but he's just trying to get away from the play. Because they're really confident right now. Even though MMD has the teleport up, Duke's already there. He doesn't have to use the TP. If they trade evenly and they get the TP advantage, they're in a happy place. Yeah, MMD has to use his TP. So, big, like, that's a pretty big win there for SK Telecom, and they read that situation, the bait by Flash Wolves, quite well. And they have the pressure advantage, so they're going to be able to take down this bottom turret. Now that Sword Art had to go back to base, and they know that Karsa is dead and off the map, they can use the item advantage that they've got. Okay. Head back right now. And now they can play around the other lanes. Notice that Duke already has the Sunfire Cape, so he's going to be able to push out the bottom if they actually reassign their lanes soon to have Duke go into the bottom side after they take the dragon. So it also leads directly into a dragon. So what they can do is push out the lanes and then swap lanes with the Maokai going into bottom and the duo going into the top. Blank actually played that well. About as well as you could. If that Poppy ult didn't hit Maokai, that would have gone really badly for them.
Do not dive the Maokai.
Okay, Bang's already there too. So if we take a look, Bang just cleared out the wave in the bottom side and is heading up. So they were going to relieve Duke in the top side. So they're doing exactly what they should be doing in this situation. And they just don't have the damage to actually do anything right here. Ezreal's going to go back. Where is NL going to go?
I mean, Azir's walked all the way top, so they're going to get some turret damage, or at least deny a minion wave.
He's going to be there late, though, and Maokai's going to get a huge wave on the bottom side.
Oh, baby. 3 waves. Feels good, man.
And if you're Flash Wolves right now, there aren't really any good options, because you don't want to keep sending this Ezreal up into the Lucian lane, but you don't really have too many options that you can work with here. Blank is also just insanely far. 50 CS up. That's crazy. He's a full item up now, despite the 3 kills that Karsa has.
Again, not unheard of in the matchup.
No, but still, that's where you want to be as Graves.
And Karsa only has comparable gold because of having all the kills, which isn't ideal to begin with.
No, not good. Like, you're not scaling jungler getting all 3 kills is pretty shit.
But hey, if you're not going to scale, you might as well build for the team, right? So, at least building Aegis.
Is that the takeaway here?
Peanut would have built Rylai's.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta go for that rise.
One time he built
Riley's
Agazonias as well.
I
and
know,
was
it's
like,
great.
think you went too far, Peanut. The Rylai's and Abyssal sort of have utility. It's a really early locket.
I don't know why you would go all the way up to locket right here.
Aegis only gives you 10 magic resist now, so at least you're getting to 15. Aegis is a really bad
I think you just build
buy now.
HP, whatever. Especially because Randuin's has a lot of value against SK Telecom's composition.
I wonder what Alice is going to build instead. Because usually it's the support these days.
So we'll see if SKT can actually get this top lane turret down now, which they should be in a good position to do. Especially like that. Sword Art still has ulti, but he's taking a lot of harassment. Blank is up here again. Blank is playing much better this game.
Score doesn't show it, but I agree.
Well, except for the one time he face checked that brush. But that should have been a 1-for-1. Carson was like in single digit HP. And it wasn't a stupid play to make, so.
Are they building double Aegis? Interesting.
That seems really weird.
Like, the only reason I see the jungler rushing it is, short of the old like Rumble Cannon days, is because the support wants to build something else. But it itemizes so easily and cheaply for supports that they always want to pick it up. I guess you could build Banner of Command as Alistair, but it feels bad.
No. Somebody should be building some sort of attack speed slow item here, whether it's Randuin's or Frozen Heart, because even Faker scales really well with attack speed because of his passive, and you get those 3 hits.
I mean, on both sides, to some degree.
Yeah. But going for double Aegis when you could build Randuin's on Elise instead right now is weird. They still found a really early advantage. This is one of the very few games we've seen with SK Telecom pretty much really controlling the early game. 2 dragons, first 2 towers out. Wow, he ulted into that. But that was actually very interesting.
Yeah, parallel conversions.
Yeah, he parallel conversions and ulted into it, so.
No, he didn't ult into it. He got a bounce back into it and knocked
it.
That was funny.
He ults right there, though.
Yeah, for damage.
So they should be able to get mid-turret here, too.
Duke has pressure on bot as well, because Poppy tried to rotate over.
Yeah, Ezreal just has to try and trade some sort of turret advantage right there. They're going to get top, but they're probably going to lose mid.
Well, but Braum can just walk up, and then Ezreal can't wave clear anyway, because he just Braum shield any...
Karso should not have been there.
Yeah.
You can't save that, buddy. So... This has actually been really well played by SKT in the early game, with the exception of Blank's death, which is weird because they haven't played this actively and well around objectives in the mid game and since the first day of competition.
Agreed.
That was a good gank attempt by SK Telecom, especially since Wolf took the cocoon there.
It says Dragon was spawning as well.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why they baited it.
Yeah.
That is a really good ult. And this is smart. Just chunk him out and go for the dragon. You have a chance at a 3rd dragon here at 25 minutes into the game. Just go for it. Play patiently around the dragon objective.
So if viewers don't know this, what happens with Echo is that if you're out of vision, they can't see your shadow. That's why you can get sick ults off.
It's also, like, it works with any ability like that.
Yeah.
So, for example, Thresh, if you're in a brush, like the souls can't be seen by your enemies, so you can collect them safely.
And if you're in vision, they see the souls.
Yeah, if you're in vision, they see the souls. So any ability like that.
I mean, for Echo, you see that shadow all the time. That it's such a pronounced ability. Watching that shadow trailing the man when it's AP Echo, especially, it's because you're so used to disrespecting. Because like, well, it's tank Echo. Like, what's this really gonna do? The answer now is a lot.
That was really good ultimate, though.
And with the Morellonomicon, you're cutting all the healing as well, so... Usually, because it's such a big burst of damage. Interesting that the snowball item blank goes for after Phantom Dancer is the last whisper. Now, it is against 3 people with armor, but it is interesting.
It's a good push. This is just a counterplay to the dragon that happened earlier. There's not really much SKT can do to that. You have to concede that. But Flash was being in the right place, and it was already low because of the Azir Echo matchup and the fact that Maple had gotten a lot of damage down already onto that turret. And Faker, they really want this red buff apparently. I'm going to take it away, so Blank is going to take that. And then they go ahead and head back. So it's really interesting that SKT loses this game because
they're playing well strategically.
Really
you can tell from the fact that they're 2 kills down, but comfortably ahead in gold.
And 3 dragons to 0 up a tower. Yeah,
remember they were 5
well.
to 0 in the previous game.
Yeah. Baron attempt is good.
Phantom Dancer.
This is a really good Baron.
Yeah.
This is a really good Baron. So if we look at how this develops, I mean, there's no wards right there.
They're spotted going to the top side of the map.
They are spotted going to the top side of the map, but the Azir turret was just taken down. And Flash Wolves here are all bottomed up. They have their dual lane in the bottom side.
At
Faker's
27 minutes.
At 27 minutes. Faker is down here alone with his TP up. Everybody on Flash Wolves is recalling.
Agreed. It's excellent.
This is the perfect... this is a big mistake by Flash Wolves, but this is the perfect time to Baron.
And Blank's, snowball in terms of gold, so he has Phantom Dancer.
I mean, they are getting a little bit low because they don't have... Finally, Duke gets there to tank it.
And they know about it now. Oh, Wolf's so low, though. It's so early in the game. Oh, God, here we go. So, the start of it was good.
Even the Baron was good.
So did they tank it poorly, though? Like, remember, Wolf died almost to it.
Well, because Duke was late, right?
Sorry, Wolf almost died to it.
I mean, they just don't even have vision around it.
They do. I mean, SKT does.
No. SKT does. Flash Wolves don't.
Sure.
And yeah, Wolf takes a lot of damage from it. And I hate this fucking Fog of War. Because we can't tell whether... Because it looked like Wolf thought he had disengaged from the Baron damage. Like, watch. Slow it down. And he hadn't, even though... Because he was still the closest target, because Maokai ended up sort of behind the Baron. And then he walks back in. So I think Wolf just... Like, he needed just to walk out and stop DP. He's not doing any damage anyway. So they don't deal with the Baron aggro properly. So he takes like maybe 2 to 3 more Baron shots than he could. But honestly, that doesn't really affect the steal or anything like that.
Levels,
so they check it.
Levels.
And it's the first hit of the True Shot Barrage that does a lot of damage. Bang gets knocked up, too.
Why is Bang so low?
Got hit by Baron. Dashes over.
Doesn't help for the VOD.
All right.
He heals. No, he doesn't heal. He just looks like
True Shot Barrage.
The
Then he gets
Baron does
knocked
a
up.
lot of damage. Well, the True Shot to Barrage did a lot of damage too.
So
Heal.
that's it.
He's like, heal, peace out. He didn't heal, he just peaced out. Okay.
But right here, Duke has his W up.
Possibly. Remember, it does do percentage HP damage.
No, he has his W up to stop Karsa from getting in
But
smite
maybe
range.
he used it on the...
Well, he did it to engage, but he should have it back up again, right?
I'm just saying, because it does percentage health damage.
He uses it right here. 27.
It's about, what, 8-second cooldown?
Yeah.
Maybe 10? There's no cooldown reduction. Oh, there's a little bit of cooldown reduction. So, it's up at maybe 37? No, it probably doesn't have it. It probably doesn't have it. I don't think he has it in 9 seconds with 10% CDR. Also, they don't have... That's the one area they don't have vision is... Well, they don't have W vision. But, yeah, I mean... If you don't...
Faker's in base, though, and he's trying to TP. But, again, it looks like they had that weird Baron
Because
play
look, in a
earlier.
different fight, Braum stands there and stops.
Yep.
But because Braum took all his health and damage, there's no
Yeah.
one to block.
I agree. I think it was just they misplayed the Baron aggro juggle, and then
782.
I mean that's an arcane smash right there, right? That
No, that's Blank's ult.
vague cone. Oh, that is Blank's ult. Okay.
So he tries ult smite?
Well, he should be able to get it right now.
How much does smite do? Can we see? No, we can't see. 760. Oh.
Yeah.
So-
782 is that what it says?
Yeah. So what happens? Okay. Yeah, I mean,
he never smites.
he's outsmited.
Yeah. That's the right play from Blank too. He just doesn't push smite.
It was a great Baron too. It's just
It was a really good Baron.
in terms of like starting it, but like the juggling by Bang and Wolf is pretty awful.
Oh
my God!
Faker's just standing in Fountain being like, I'll be here later, guys. I like the fucking Faker camp.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Doody doo doo.
It's like, well, that's it, boys.
And that unsettles 27 minutes of good play.
Yeah. It's not even over yet, though, because they still have turret advantage, and they still have 3 dragons to 0.
They also have a gold lead.
Yeah, so it's not... Well, it's... Yeah, slightly.
I mean, when you're 2 kills down and you gave up Baron, to have any gold advantage is pretty good.
Blank had that in the bank.
Oh, beautiful.
That was really well done.
That was sexy. Sort of. Alistair.
I like his commitment to that play.
We just waited.
Yeah, and you can see right here, because we don't get to see it, but he used his trinket. He knows that nobody's in that brush. There's a TP already coming in from MMD. He sees that it's Bang down there. They know Faker's in the bottom side. They know Duke's in the top side. Maximum 3 people here to defend this, and it's just... I mean, that Thunderlord's ignite straight into the cocoon. Wolf tries to save him.
Good play.
I mean, so my issue here, right, is that, you know, Faker tried to find a teleport, couldn't find one around Baron, that's fine. Why does Faker return bottom lane against Baron buff when they don't have vision control in their own jungle on Echo, a champion that doesn't teleport in aggressively?
That's also the least important turret.
But either you don't
Tier
walk up
one.
to, either you don't save that tier 1 turret, or you don't send your mid laner with a lot of gold into bottom against Baron buff and Alistar. Like, they have engage.
Yeah. Well, especially because it's really just the bottom lane thing. Like, I understand why you send the Maokai top lane to try and push out that wave, but let him have the fucking tier 1.
You can't send both your teleports
Yeah.
away from a turret. Like, you can't. Whoever the person is that checks people isn't checking. Like, the person saying, I'm going bot, there's no one saying, you can't.
Yeah.
Faker spent 2 games, like, going... who was it? Who was it that was, like, Thaldron-esque TP play of, like, 2 TPs for 1? Sometimes he just hasn't used it. I don't know. Because the play is great, but it should never happen against Baron buff.
Part of the problem is that maybe the logic is that they don't have much wave clear against this anyway. Okay, I don't know why Faker's here now. So that's the thing about the Echo passive, though, is that when you have a lot of AP, you get super fast.
Yeah, it's super
so he
speedy.
actually is able to escape from that.
Also, your, like, parallel convergence shield is, like,
Yeah.
casual 600 shield.
I mean, look at that Baron power play, though. Nearly 5,000 gold from that one Baron steal.
I wonder if they got the dragon.
You know what's funny is it's almost like SKT responded as if they had gotten the Baron.
Exactly.
That was the response if you get the Baron.
Especially Echo. Like, Echo loves Baron because already he's, like, obnoxious in the split push, and then with Baron buff, it's, like, crazy how strong he is. Instead, they just disregard it. Sword Art does Sword Art things on Alistar, and they get punished.
Yeah. But it is almost like they thought they were behaving like they had actually successfully gotten the Baron, when that would have been the right play.
But to defend, it wasn't.
Although, again, it is super hard for them to clear, like, Echo and Maokai, that turret would have gone down, but they may have been able to save their inhibitor turret. But there's...
I mean, Echo with Abyssal and AP does have good wave clear. And he has Zonias, so he can be, like, a little bit tricky with aggression.
It's certainly better.
Teleport. Just into lane. Actually, no. Flanking, I guess. Well, so what did Wolf do? Wolf was like, I'm going to pink ward this brush. And then he was like, shit. Get some turret damage in. No.
Alright, well, I guess they're just gonna start feeding one by one now. Who needed that 4th dragon, you know? Really? I don't think that was important to this game.
If you just... It's just the knowledge that you have. So, they have... It's 1 TP to 1 TP. And Bang is doing Gromp. Your Maokai isn't there. Faker is clearing a pink ward, and your jungler's in base. Like, I know you want to do this, and I know you want to set up for this, but
It's just like Bang in the last game, where he's like trying to take red buff by himself. It's like, why is Wolf trying to ward this jungle by himself right now?
there's no reason to do that.
To his defense, is flanked by Azir of all people.
Okay, but he had no information.
I know.
And there's actually 5 people on that side of the map.
Oh boy.
The funniest thing is that
They probably didn't even need to TP Azir in. Because where's he gonna go?
where's he gonna go?
I mean, he could have gone straight backwards to the minion line. He goes to the minion line, he's fine.
I don't know if he is, because
Who's gonna get there? Maokai's already there.
they can collapse over here.
Yeah, but you throw a sapling and they get. A sapling would have been enough to stop those 2 people coming through. The teleport was necessary.
So then you lose the dragon that you desperately needed to stay in this game.
I mean, to be fair, again, they are very competitive in this game. It's only 2,000 gold lead. They still have Echo with a mountain of AP split pushing. Their team fight is good. Like, this game is certainly winnable. I'm waiting for Sword Art's flash to be up. That'd probably be the next fight.
The go button.
Well, they just don't know how to play against Boots and Mobility Alistair, apparently.
So we're just waiting now for an objective to spawn, basically. Just gonna flash forward on this and see what happens at the next Baron. Because SKT has the double TP advantage again. So they should be able to pressure Baron, considering nobody can answer the top side. But there's good wards by Flash Wolves out right now. And the ward clearing is going to come through. Duke is recalling at an awkward time. Or it's Faker, rather. With his ward still up.
Doesn't actually get anything in the back. Maybe gets a elixir?
He got corrupting potion charges.
Yeah!
Again, perhaps a time to buy a pink ward.
Does Faker have a girlfriend?
So that was wrong.
I mean, that's what happened to Prey.
Prey got fixed, though.
Because he broke up with her.
Girlfriends, the enemies of pro gamers. Ruining pro gamers. Alright.
Face check arena.
Okay, it actually didn't do much. Except when he died to that.
I missed that. I was watching the teleports. Yeah, because Blank got out as you do on Graves because you're super tanky.
And you have a million dashes. So he gets hit by the cocoon,
Yeah.
right? And Sword Art is going to bounce him up, and then he's going to flash. He's going to dash, flash, ult.
Yeah.
And Wolf is doing a very good job of blocking NL's damage with the Unbreak. Probably doesn't need Unbreakable and Exhaust, but that's neither here nor there. So their CC is down now, though. Alistair combo's down.
Faker's going to teleport
Cocoon's
second.
down. Faker is running and then teleports.
His Poppy will be in first. So Blank's just autoing. NL's super low.
NL is super low and still exhausted.
Remember,
Bang has a very good angle right now on the NL. The TP is straight into the middle of the fight.
Azir hasn't been able to get there.
But Azir is going to get the Sand Soldier down right now, and Blank is going to ignore
Is he just going
it.
to die?
Yeah, he gets Thunderlord's proc, and he just gets poked by the Azir to death. All he has to do is walk back right there, and he doesn't die. How does NL get out of this?
So NL gets owned. Takes massive damage. So then he
wrecked.
heals. Runs past Duke, I guess, because Duke uses everything.
He has
on Maple.
QSS too, so he uses QSS. Oh, he still dies.
Yep.
Okay.
Poppy's coming in.
Who gets a kill on that?
Poppy and Faker just got there.
So,
Remember, this is a terrible place to fight against Azir, by the way.
absolutely awful. And especially because Sword Art's combo is going to be
Let's
back
see
up
who
again
MMD
really
gets.
soon.
Double ult. Braum and Bang.
There's the pulve again. Came back up.
It's a good parallel convergence.
Yeah. You can ult still. There he goes.
Doesn't get any damage with it though.
Well, it's more of a bonus if you get Echo.
Ah, when you're
damage.
AP Echo, I don't know if that's true though. Super close.
Oh, that was a tilt flash.
He wanted to flash B on top.
Yeah.
You can understand why. They trade
He was
flashes.
already way too far away for that, though. Like, you don't even take that risk.
Maple did have a flash, right? They did trade flashes, but pretty bold move there to try and go back in all alone.
And the issue is that because Blank is dead, even if you get the kill, you're probably going to trade, and you don't have a jungler if you don't trade.
Yep.
To take Baron. It's a low reward play. Poppy ult, man. It's so good.
It's pretty good.
I just hit 40,000 gold out of the fight.
Well, this is an interesting place to come back into this game.
So
What's going on down there? Why is Blank in the bottom jungle?
So he's going to kill his Gromp. I see.
What the fuck?
Hey, Graves is quite tanky, so Gromp buff gives him some magic damage.
Nice. Get that dot in. But you can't do this. Like, Bang is still back in his base.
He can do it.
He's not even. He's still walking towards Gromp. He's still walking towards Gromp.
He's gonna get it now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just watch the mini map. He's gonna get the Gromp. He's gonna secure it. Look, see, wait for it. Wait for it. It's still on the. It's gone now.
Oh my
He
god.
got the Gromp.
What the fuck is he doing? He must be licking toads to make that decision. Wow, I mean, you just traded 1-for-1 around that objective.
And then he traded 1-for-1. Gromp for Baron.
Just fucking walk the Baron. Oh, well, I guess free Baron. Good job.
Well, they could have Faker as well, if that's alright.
Alright, just, ult back in, whatever.
Alright, that's probably it. At this point,
You
now
sound tilted, Monty.
that I'm tilted by Blank walking to Gromp. He actually wasn't playing badly until that play.
See, Brom.
That's it. Hey, is that it?
Yeah, more League of Legends.
I didn't want more.
I want more.
I think they deserve to lose after that. I don't know what, like, SK Telecom, they should have gotten that. If they got that first Baron, they were playing so well up until the Baron steal happened. And then everything just fell apart.
Look, SKT have small early game and late game shot calling to fix, Monty. Oh. Well,
That was actually not bad.
pounded the Ezreal at least.
Did you see NL E'd to get to the fight faster so he didn't have any escapes? That's actually really funny. NL's like, surely there's no one in this brush. Now, this isn't really his fault because that's ridiculous. Why would they be? But he doesn't have any summoner, so he's like, oh god, I have to kill this inhibitor right now. And he's like, the surprise arcane shift. Like just one shots him. It's pretty good. It's pretty amusing.
You just hit 13,000 people watching this stream.
It's not enough. Tell your friends. Plebs, tell your friends.
To come back tomorrow.
To come back tomorrow because this is our last game. Because it's 3 a.m.
We'll have time for some chat, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys after. I just don't know. The positive side to this for SKT is they probably had their best early game in the 4 games that they lost.
Sure, but there's not really a positive side when you have a whole new batch of issues.
Was it a new batch of issues? Like, if they actually secure that...
Did you see their late
Like,
game in the previous game?
If Blank smites that Baron...
No, the previous game.
Yeah. That one was bad. But if Blank smites that Baron, then there's no problem.
Agreed. Sure.
There were fewer issues in this game than the last one.
Agreed. They played very well for 27 minutes. Faker wants to ult in.
That's it. This was a game they probably actually shouldn't have lost. They played quite well for a lot of this game, and Flash Wolves took advantage of the opportunities that they were presented, but they didn't start doing really dumb stuff until after the Baron was stolen.
Two of those losses to the LMS side. It looked like it might have turned around as SKT were right back in the control game they liked in the beginning, but the Flash Wolves proved that they can take chaos and make something gold out of it.
But that was actually much better than we've seen from some of the other 4 or other 3 losses, I should say.
Alright, but we've seen kind of a random sampler of problems. So
yeah.
What's SKT's main problem to fix for tomorrow? Because you can only fix so many things.
I don't know, because like that's what's so strange is that I felt like when we reviewed their games yesterday, their main issue was that they weren't playing their compositions properly.
And today they did.
They played way overly aggressively in the early game. And today they actually were controlling Dragon much better than they were yesterday. They weren't taking stupid fights. But they were, at least against CLG, they weren't playing around the LeBlanc proper. They were playing around their own LeBlanc properly to set up the vision, and then they botched the Baron. Honestly, today has been like botched Baron day for them.
Communication has been today, I think, their big problem.
Yeah.
So many issues with like blanks chilling on 1700 HP Barons and...
Yeah, the Baron calls are really bad today. But I think the knowledge of how to use their team compositions was better than it was yesterday.
I mean, the main issue with the previous game is that they didn't need Baron as a crutch with double TP and a massive LeBlanc. They could have played around it and just actually gotten objectives with double TP and the advantage they had. This game, Baron was a good objective for them to take. It got stolen. Which is, a different problem. Okay, well, what about the famous question? Do you sub in Bengi? I don't think it's the solution.
I don't think it is either. I don't think that's the
They have
problem.
not been scrimming with Bengi. So, I don't think you can just play Bengi tomorrow.
No.
How do you think they'll do tomorrow?
Who knows, really?
Do they play Supermassive tomorrow?
It's Faker's birthday tomorrow.
Happy fucking birthday, Faker.
Happy fucking birthday, Faker.
Well, technically today, I guess.